Hello everyone, we are 3 months into the year and I wanted to just talk about my reading goals for this year. I want to talk about books that I read last year that I really liked. I also wanted to talk about some of my reading goals this year, and I also want to talk about some books that I really want to get into this year. I've been quite busy, so I wanted to film it earlier, but I just didn't get a chance to. So before I start, I want to say that I did actually achieve my reading goal of 12 books. I wanted to read 12 books last year and I really did that. Some of you might say it's quite low. For me, myself, it was the perfect kind of challenge for me, but at the same time I was like, no, I kind of need it. If I decide to read more, I'll probably like not enjoy the books as much as I did. And I know like my schedule, like sometimes I don't end up reading as much. Sometimes I end up reading a lot more. In scripting this video, I was kind of thinking about like what were my favourite books. So during the end of the year, I finished reading The Gilded Ones and Homegoing. Interestingly enough, I started with fantasy and ended the year in fantasy. I really enjoyed Homegoing. It's about the descendants of two half-sisters and just their journey. It deals with slavery, colonization, race, it does with sexuality, it deals with like curses. One that I was quite skeptic about was The Red Pyramid. I read this after finishing the Percy Jackson the first 10 books. Didn't really know if I was gonna like it. I haven't read the rest of the series yet. I will eventually, don't know when, but eventually I will read them. So with my current goals for 2025, I was thinking about like challenging myself. So one of them was reading a horror manga, which if you guys don't know, it's very scary and it's a different level, but I do want to try and see what it's like. I have heard that it's like just a different level to anything you would have ever read, which has made me really intrigued. So I want to try and read a horror manga this year. And like I've watched Attack on Titans. I'm fine. I've watched JJK. It's fine. I can handle it. Hopefully. Another one, and this is kind of to deal with like, because I'm also a part of a writing group, I want to kind of improve my reviewing skills. Whenever I review a book, my vocabulary in it is very limited. It's good, it's great, it's fantastic, heartbreak, and like I want to be able to give more of my thoughts. And I know like sometimes it's just not that deep. Like if you think it's good, but I just kind of want to improve it, like describe it in different ways, because books are really great, but they can be so different. So I want to be able to like improve my reviewing skills. This is also important because I'm also part of a writing group. Similar thing there. I feel like sometimes I say the same things, and I know like it's not always about the fancy words, but sometimes I just want to be able to give more detail or be able to kind of explain myself or express myself better than I have been already. So yeah, that's one of my goals. I know that like I should be reading more articles on it, so that's what I'm going to try and do, challenge myself to do, and also think deeply about what I like about certain pieces or what I'm enjoying about certain things that I'm reading or listening to. The last one, I think everyone has this problem, is trying to catch up with my DNFs. I have a long list. I don't even have a long list. Like I checked it earlier today. It's not really that long, but I don't like the fact that I have, even if it's just 5, I don't like the fact that I have it, and it's like I'm reading more books. These books include Go in Pieces, which is really good actually. I need to get back on like consistently reading that. The other one is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and I've said this in so many videos that I haven't finished it. I think it's also the fact that I just keep on going to other things. I will finish it. I would say Paris Patisserie. I still haven't read it. Finished it. I think I'm just gonna give up. For those who don't know, it's a romance book. I don't like the main character's love interest. He's not redeemable in any way. He doesn't even have cute moments with the main character, and I just don't understand why the main character likes him. I know what's gonna happen. Like I know, like you know, you just like I know what's going to happen. She has this guy that she's supposed to that likes her, and she kind of likes. But I know they're not going to end up together, and I know that she's going to end up with the other guy. I don't want to finish it up, basically. One that's on the list that I haven't finished yet, and I definitely will, is A Spell of Good Things. I know in my last video I said I didn't really enjoy it. I've changed my mind. It's great. It gets so much better. I enjoy the characters a lot more than I used to. I know more about them now, and I know more about their relationships with their family members, their relationship with themselves. It's picked up a lot. The other one, and it kind of links to the horror, is that I want to try and get back into thriller, because I know the last time I finished thriller, I didn't like I have to think of the thriller books that I've been reading. They just were quite lackluster at the end, and I've just not enjoyed the endings. But the endings, sometimes they just fall off for me, and I don't want to have that impression on thrillers. Speaking about the books that I enjoyed, I enjoyed The Gilded Ones. I finished reading that. That was good. I really love how smart and sneaky Dacre is. Dacre's the main character. I also I think I've spoken about this. I also read One Day. I know they changed certain scenes from the movie that were in the book, which is okay. Like for example, there's a baby scene with Dexter and the baby, and I kind of get why they didn't include it. I actually kind of appreciate the fact that they didn't, spoiler warnings, at the end of the show. So in the book, in the end, Dexter ends up being in a relationship with the owner. I think there was someone that he worked with at the cafe, and they didn't include that in the movie, which I mean they didn't include in the show, which I actually appreciate. You don't always kind of find love after you've lost, or you might not want to move on that quickly, or that just might not be your next step for you. Okay, so there's a few books that I really want. There's so many on my Goodreads list. December I did like let's say over 50. Some haven't been out yet, some have been out. There are two that I've put on the top of my reading list. One is Salutation Road by Salma Ibrahim. I was at an author roundtable with her and she spoke about her book. And then the next book is Ace of Spades, which I know everyone again has read, but I want to read as well. There are a few more that I haven't included in here. Like, I wanted to read a lot more non-fiction. I think that was my goal for last year, and I think I read like 2. And then I'm reading one for a video that hopefully comes out this year. I think I want to try and do more non-fiction books. And then the last but not least, how many books I want to get through this year. Drum roll please. It's 20. That doesn't the thing is, I had to take into account my schedule. I couldn't do 20. I could do 20. Let me see. I was supposed to read 12 last year, and I think I ended up reading 15. If I hadn't got 20, I could get further than that. We'll see. Yeah, I can't wait for this year. I think I've enjoyed reading a lot more, and I really liked how diverse kind of my reading has become, and it's kind of helped me in my writing a lot more than before. Like, I think I've improved on like how I write stuff or what I say. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in my next video.